Well, good morning, everybody. This is our first session of Good Morning Camarillo, and we're privileged to have Mayor Pro Tem Mike Morgan with us, and we happen to be in one of the first stores that opened up in Old Town Camarillo, Rocket Fizz. Mike, say hello to all our viewers.
Hello, everyone. Yes, we're in the first Rocket Fizz out of 103 of them now. They're still growing, and so it's going to be it's a real neat place to go. My son and his partner own them, and my daughter runs this one and two others, and so it's a family affair.
Oh, how neat. Well, it's something that starts in our own community. So, Mike, as a start, tell us a little bit about the status of the city of Camarillo, what's coming up, and how we're going to try and do this on a regular basis so that we let people know what is going on.
My pleasure. Have you got about 2 hours? Because we have, there's so many good things going on in Camarillo. Every time we turn around, we're getting one award after another. 25th best place to live in the United States out of 500 cities. They looked at our size below, and you know our schools are highly rated, and we've been working so hard. Our budget's in great shape. It's not just the factory outlet mall, but it's how we're using our budget also. We've had some major issues here recently this past year, been really tough on us, but weather has been tough on us. Fire, down comes during the floods, down comes the stuff on homes, and now we have worked it out, and we put 1.7 million came from the federal government, and then we just put almost 2 million in. Now they're added more things to that mountain to keep it safe. Wow. And so I think that the time we're through, the folks will feel really safe about what's going on there, and they'll be cleaned. The barriers will be cleaned out every time if there is a bad one. They'll be cleaned out. And so I think we've got more safety guards there than you have in most places in California. Yeah. There are some cities in our own county that when they had some of these things did nothing. Yeah. But we want to make sure our residents, we help our residents. Now, talking about other things, that's the one that we worked on for a long time because there are different issues that came up about it.
Well, what are some of the important things that are facing the city now as you're going into another fiscal year? And you know, we certainly have with the drought and other things that are associated with it. So what are some of the important factors that most of the residents should be looking at?
One of the things that all cities are facing right now, and it could be a financial problem for all of us, is water. Water is one of the most important issues and has been for the last 3 or 4 years. I've gone on all the tours up to the Delta, up to Oroville Dam, where it holds our water that comes to the Truckee, the Sacramento River that comes our way. Mm-hmm. And I've been through all the Delta. Now the Delta is islands. People don't know what Delta is, but it's islands. They're at farming, and there are big miles of these things, big islands, and the water flows through them, from the Sacramento River. Mm-hmm. Well, we pick up our water at the end of those Delta, and it goes on the aqueduct all the way here, 300-mile distance for that water to travel to get to us. And if one of those deltas break, one of those islands break, maybe two break, it could be from anything from El Nino floods, and the state is putting in $10 million every year to help keep them repaired. But you can now see water coming up on the other side. The farmland is 50 feet below the dike. Wow. The water is up here. That's how much pressure is on those dikes. Well, if they break, we're going to miss water from the delta through the aqueduct. We're going to miss it for 3 months to 3 years because it'll suck in. If they break, it sucks in water and draws in the salter water from the bay. And so that's going to harm our water for quite a while until they can get it fixed.
Are there some preventive measures that are being taken right now? So one of the measures that we're doing
right now, which is not everybody has this, of course, is that we're building a desal plant, desalter, on the east side of town. The water we're using is not from the ocean. It's brine water that comes down from the mountains in Simi Valley. And when the Simi Valley mountains come, that water comes streaming down through the Cayugas Creek. Mm-hmm. It goes underground. It's filling up our basin here. We've measured billions of gallons of brine water below us in our first aquifer. That's actually hurting our second aquifer where we get our water to drink.
Interesting.
And that water is getting a little salt in it because of the pressure. But now we can use it as a resource because farmers can't use it, no one can use it. Now it's a resource for us to make good water. And we say desal water.
Wow.
And you think about Dasani, one of those jars, Dasani, you read down there, it says desal water. So they
Okay.
desaled water from somewhere to make Dasani water. That's how good it's going to be.
So what you're saying is you're actually bringing in a source for the desal plant that is much less than the good water source.
The source that's here now, the brine water that's below us, is a good source because we can now use it and convert it. The line that goes to the ocean with our brine water is already to the ocean. It's in the ocean. And they're waiting for us to finish our plant. That will come up for a vote in either January or February. The GMA, Groundwater Maintenance Agency, is a state arm that's to protect underground water. Well, we've met everything they've wanted. We should get it passed, and then we take off right away.
Well, you know something, Mike, that's something, and we'll let the viewers know that this is something we probably should be doing a whole series on.
Yes.
That whole desalter plant, you know?
I give a PowerPoint presentation now. I've done 9 of them to different groups around Camarillo. But it's good in nature for everyone to know it because they'll know what you can do. When I went to the AWA, I'm on AWA board, Association of Water Agencies, and I had to ask a question in the end of one of the meetings, a skull session, you know, and I said, how many of you have tertiary treated water? It's at your sewer plant. 4. How many of you are using that water to recycle to use? None. We are.
Okay.
We have a tertiary treated plant that you can almost drink the water. Well, that water now, if you look at Village at the Park, we made Village at the Park when they first were built, put in blue lines. That means in the future you might use recycled water. We were thinking way ahead 12 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that desal water, we hooked it up. It's going. It's feeding all the 55 acres at the park is receiving recycled water, and the Park and Rec is saving $110,000 a year because the cost is so much less. And then the little parks and the medians and all that are being watered inside Village of the Park. That takes about 2 million gallons a day.
Wow.
Now we have 2 million more left. We're doing a line that's going to go across or down Pleasant Valley Road and feed into the farmland. Now the farmers can't wait because it's going to cut their costs. Additionally, and because it'll be a lot less than what they're pumping. Additionally, it'll help keep us from pumping water out of the ground because we'll feed them on top recycled water that they're going to save a lot of money and it'll be beneficial to all. Now, in addition to that, by the way, the desal plant that we're building on the other end, half of that water is going to go to farmers.
Is that the one down near Cal State?
No, that's
Okay.
the little one. That's
Okay.
Camarillo's.
Okay.
The one we're building behind the hospital, the desal plant I told you we're going to build,
Okay.
it's much bigger. It's going to feed 70% of our water throughout the city.
Wow.
And farmers are going to get part of that because they're getting that same treatment with that salt water. They can't grow bigger strawberries and bigger avocados. Well, now we'll have this water to feed into their lands too.
Not to make an analogy, but this is how the country is becoming energy efficient by looking at things that we have and figuring out how to use them.
And we will be using a lot of solar cells there and also in the future at our sanitary plant.
Oh, wonderful. Really, really nice. So those are some of the important things. There's any other things on the agenda that maybe people should know? Well, let's look at it really. We're coming up to the Christmas season.
Yes.
So we're gonna have a lot going on in the city, aren't we?
Oh, there's so many things going on. I've got a list here. I'm not going to go through all of it.
Right,
I'll
but
tell you a few things.
tell people also where they can see it online.
Okay, at the Camarillo Ranch, there's going to be several nights that's with Santa at the Camarillo Ranch, and that's December 2nd, 9th, 16th, and 21st. You can find these on the websites, by the way. Then you have the No Room at the Inn, which a lot of people like to go there. They put up over 700 manger scenes, and this raises money for the homeless, by the way. And this year it's get rotated around, and this year it's going to be held at Padre Serra. And at Padre Serra, like I say, I know we're putting up like 7. My wife is of our main manger scenes that we have. There'll be entertainment and appetizers at the door. So come see them. It's a fun night, and that'll be December the 4th through December the 5th. It'll be there 2 days, and you can go through and see that at Padre Serra Hall. Then we move down to, like I said, benefits go to the homeless. They decide where they put their money, and that's where they're going with it. The Camarillo Chamber of Commerce is holding a celebration at Disdar Park, holiday celebration there, and that's where we do the tree lighting of the big tree in the middle of the park, and we have the high school band and other entertainment there that night to make it fun, and you'll have Santa.
Beautiful.
And so all the stores will be open, so people can go walk and shop and at the same time. Then we have on the 4th also, Pleasant Valley Park and Rec hosts a special events, local community breakfast with Santa, 8 o'clock in the morning on December 4th. It's another December 4th.
Wow, that's a big couple of days.
Now we'll move into the big day. On December the 5th, a lot of things are happening. We're going to have Christmas at the Ranch. It's a gala where you go and you have food and wine tasting, music, everything at the ranch. And it raises money for the ranch house. And so that's always a big
How
event.
neat.
It's a lot of fun. Then you have Studio Channel Islands over here in downtown, Old Town, is celebrating harmony. It's called Harmony and Mirth with their artists at the holiday art market, they call it, for the season. And you can buy art there too, and there's going to be musicians and food trucks and everything. So that's on the 5th also. And then and you get these again on the internet. At the Camarillo Hospice, the Tree of Life will be lit up also on the 5th at 4:30 in the afternoon, next to City Hall at Constitution Park. And that's just to raise money and for special people that have died and deceased. It's a fun event to go to. You light the big light, it's a kid.
Yeah.
And then we have Camarillo Chabad. Chabad celebrating their Hanukkah at Constitution Park.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they'll light the menorah, and they'll have entertainment like crazy. I mean, they'll have acrobats. I saw those last year; they're really good, and dancing and so on. And then you'll also have children with their arts.
Wow.
And so that's a fun night over at
What
the
date
6th.
is that?
That's the 6th,
Right.
and it starts at 4:30. Okay, and then we have the Camarillo Christmas Parade, and that's on the 6th also. I'm sorry, it's on the 12th.
12th.
The 12th.
Right.
And that will be put on by the Pleasant Valley Recreation Park District. And you'll be starting on Las Posas Road and ending at the community center. At the community center, there'll be all kinds of things going on, food and entertainment. And then at 4 o'clock, the Camarillo High School Band is going to put on a program.
How neat.
And they are an award-winning band, by the way. That group came in second out of all 30-something bands this year in competition. Half of them are freshmen.
Wow.
And so they did quite well. And then their percussion unit came in first. So we've got some talented kids here, not just with our football team, who, by the way, are champs.
Had to get that in, didn't you?
Oh, I have to, because hopefully we'll win the whole thing. But we're 12-0, and we're going to keep going. And I'm so glad these kids are good kids. I've been out to their practice, and they're really good kids. Meadowlark is the last one I'll tell you about. Meadowlark League, this is the 37th time they put on this home tour for the holidays. And all these homes are decorated for the holidays. And they're beautiful.
How beautiful.
Again, you can get that through the internet to find out.
Is that on the city?
It starts at 1 p.m. and goes to 5.
Is that on the city website?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then you have the Red Barn Holiday Boutique at the Camarillo Ranch again. And this is a holiday time where you can go buy the goodies, and starts at 10 and goes to 5. And you buy you some holiday gifts there and entertainment. So
Support your local vendors.
we could probably keep going, but I'm going to
You
stop.
know what? You're going to stop, but I'm going to ask you this. One final thing as we're going to end this, okay? We're only a couple of days away from Thanksgiving, and we all want to wish everybody a real happy Thanksgiving. There's something special that's going on in Camarillo
Yes.
for those. And Mike, how about sharing that?
I forgot to tell you. Last year, I'm part of the Moose Lodge. And last year we served 700 free meals, turkey meals, to people who need it. People, you don't have to say you need it, come in and get a free turkey meal. And we're doing the same thing this year. And I'd love to be there to help serve, but I'm with my kids in Reno at that time.
And that is going to be what day?
That'll be the
Thursday?
The Thursday.
Thursday, and it'll be
At the Moose Lodge. Moose Lodge is at where you know the 99-cent stores in Camarillo?
Yep.
It's in the corner.
Dynamite.
And you'll have a lot of good food and a lot of good people serving it.
Mike, we're going to look back at this as that preliminary Good Morning Camarillo, and we're going to say, hey, we came a long way from that show, but this is reality TV.
Exactly.
So I really want to thank you a lot for doing it.
No problem.